That's why it is important for us as parents to raise our kids right. Yo, it's so important because it's like it's like we are in charge of preparing them for when God starts to pay attention. So I think that from the time the baby is born to, let's say, about 7 years old, 7 or 8 years old, 8 years old, first or second grade-ish, right? You are, God, you have like a free pass. You know what I'm saying? To make all the mistakes you want to make. Make all the mistakes you want to make. Not the child. You as the parent. You know what I'm saying? Because by the time that child is like 7 or 8, that child is starting to, it's going to start to get difficult to get certain habits and things out of them. You know what I'm saying? So, and then, God, and then if they hit puberty early, it's even worse. So I feel like by the time the baby is born to the time like 7 or 8, and I say that now because times are different. Times are speeding up. Yo, average 12-year-old don't look like a 12-year-old no more. So around that time, 7 or 8, I feel like the kids is probably already gonna be locking in certain ways, and it's gonna be difficult to establish new habits or instill certain characteristics and certain manners and stuff like that. That's why my son is 4 years old. Don't you sneeze next to him and I say bless you, cause he gonna look at you crazy like, excuse me, you won't see me here. You didn't see me sneeze. Or don't he hold the door for you and you don't say thank you, because he gonna look at you crazy like, you didn't see me here? You don't say thank you? Just so he could say you're welcome. Yes, you teach your kids these things young. Because when you don't do that, when you don't teach your kids accountability, when you don't teach your kids right from wrong, when you think you have all the time in the world to parent them, oh, they're just 5. Oh, they're just 4. Oh, they're just 6. Next thing you know, they 16 beating your ass. Next thing you know, they 26 on OnlyFans sucking dick. You know what I'm saying? Like, or on these body cam footages, can't tell them nothing. Shooting up they managers because the managers was doing their jobs and telling them what the fuck to do. You can't tell these people, you can't tell these kids nothing. No, you can't tell them nothing now. You can't do none of that. And 9 times out of 10, it was the parents saying, no, not my child, no, or in the school hooping and hollering with them. Like, come on, like, you got to keep it real. Or then we have the ones that are narcissists, men and female. They can't take accountability. We got stunted little boys stuck in grown men bodies, and stunted little girls stuck in grown women bodies, and because your mommy and daddy fucked you up, and you can't look at your mommy and not acknowledge that your mommy and daddy fucked you up, and you got your mommy and daddy issues, and now you taking it out on the first woman or the first man that treat you right, because it's foreign to you to be treated right. It's foreign to you to be treated right. Or they holding you accountable, and it's foreign to you to be told that you did something wrong. So it is very crucial that we don't squander that trial period, that practice run, that free play that God gives us to raise our kids, because they're going to get to an age where they're out in the world. And I'll be damned. I told my soon to be ex-husband, I told his ass, I'll be damned if I have a woman call me and say, your son put his hands on me because he saw you do it. You know what I'm saying? At some point, you got to look at yourself and say, what am I showing y'all? What am I instilling y'all? What am I teaching you? So it's very important that we take advantage of that and do right by our kids. Don't continue the cycle and fuck your kids up because your parent fucked you up. So after you get a rundown of your life, of what you did up until your last breath, and you explain yourself to God. I feel like depending on who you really were, your heart and everything, your intentions with everything, you either go one or two places. I don't believe in hell. I don't believe that there's a place that you're going to be burning forever and ever and ever. I don't believe that, because I believe that what we are living now is hell. In the physical, spiritual, figurative way. You ain't going to tell me that we're not living amongst demons. You can't sit in the trains and not get worried that your neck is literally going to get sliced. You can't have an argument or a verbal disagreement or have your own thoughts and not get shot in the neck. Like, we have men in wigs trying to compete with biological women and want to confuse children into thinking that there's more than two genders. If we're not living among demons and this is not hell right now, I don't know what is. So if this is not the test, the real test, and this is why we're living, this is the test, I don't know what to tell you. So I believe that your soul goes either one or two places. One being, if you did good, as in, because nobody's perfect, but you had a good heart. You did your best. You tried to do good. You never did anything to hurt someone. Your intention was never, even if the person was hurt, even if the person got offended, your intentions weren't to do that, because you're not in charge of everybody. You can only control yourself. You tried. When you did something wrong, you held yourself accountable. You acknowledged that person's feelings, and you apologized, and you did your best to not do it again. That's what counts. That's what matters. When you had to help, you helped. You understand? When you were able to lend an ear, you lended an ear. You did good. I believe that your reward will be to join the ancestors and reap those benefits of being able to oversee your loved ones and help guide them and rejoice and live in that lifetime, in that realm with your ancestors, and see the offerings that your loved ones give you, and be able to visit them in a dream, or be able to visit them as a bird, or as a dog, or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Whatever you choose to come back as in when you're in that realm. Now, if you didn't do so good, if you was out here doing what the fuck you knew you was not supposed to be fucking doing, you out here lying, stealing, cheating, manipulating people, playing with people's free will. Because when you manipulate somebody and you confuse somebody and you gaslight somebody, you're playing with somebody's free fucking will. And how dare you play with the one thing God gave us? Our free will, our right to use this, and make a decision. When you don't give people the full truth, when you don't give people the full story, when you manipulate them, when you try to tug on their heartstrings to get what the fuck you want, you are taking away the one thing God gave us, and that is free will. You think you ain't gonna pay for that shit? So I think your ass that is doing wrong, the demons, you was a devil here on, you was a demon here on earth. You was diddy bopping here on earth, raising hell and havoc here on earth, creating trauma and troubles for people here on earth. You think you're gonna be fine? Fuck out of here. I believe that those motherfuckers go to a certain realm where they're stuck.